Today, we are about to delve into a force that silently governs the world of finance, often unseen, yet immensely powerful: the allure of narratives, and why they can be dangerously misleading when it comes to financial decisions. In every era, mankind has been captivated by stories. From the myths of ancient Greece to the modern-day accounts of overnight financial success, we have been wired to find meaning in the stories we hear. But what happens when the narratives we rely on to guide our financial choices distort reality? What happens when the story seems too simple, too convenient, yet leads us astray? Imagine a tale woven in the media, the rise of a legendary investor, or the astronomical growth of a startup. These stories paint a picture of someone who saw something the rest of the world didn't. It captivates us because we long to believe that if we follow the same steps, we too can ascend to that level of success. But here lies the trap. The story often leaves out crucial elements such as the randomness, the luck, the fleeting moment of opportunity that, in truth, played as much of a role as strategy or foresight. Consider the stories you've heard of the stock market, where a single investment propels an ordinary person to immense wealth. It's tempting to believe that by following a similar path, we too will find the same reward. But these stories omit the unseen risks, the countless others who followed the same steps, only to lose everything. What is left unspoken, what lies between the lines, is the critical reality that not all who venture on this path succeed. And therein lies the danger of financial narratives. They offer a sense of certainty where none exists. I ask you this: how many times have you yourself been lured into a financial narrative? Was it a friend's success, a media story, or even the advice of an expert? Did it push you to make a decision that, in hindsight, you may not have fully understood? We are all guilty of it at times, entranced by a narrative so compelling that it blinds us to the complexity behind the facade. But how do we shield ourselves from this perilous temptation? The answer lies in grounding ourselves not in stories, but in facts, data, probabilities, and long-term strategies. The truth, as cold and as indifferent as it may be, is that financial outcomes are rarely as simple as the stories make them out to be. Recognize this, and you free yourself from the illusion of certainty, the limits of knowing what you don't know. Now, we arrive at another fundamental truth, one that echoes through the halls of time: the awareness of our own ignorance. In finance, as in life, we are often blinded not by what we don't know, but by the dangerous belief that we can predict the future. How many times have we seen investors, seasoned and new alike, attempt to predict the twists and turns of the market, the rise and fall of economies? They place their faith in predictions and forecasts, convinced that with the right information, they can outwit the chaos. But here's the hard truth: no one, no matter how wise or experienced, can consistently predict the future. Even those who dedicate their lives to studying the markets often find themselves humbled by events they did not foresee. The world is too vast, too complex, to be reduced to mere predictions. Economies are shaped by forces far beyond our control: geopolitics, natural events, human behavior, all acting together in ways we can never fully understand. Have you ever placed your hopes on a prediction? Perhaps it was a stock tip or a bold claim about the future of a market. And how did it turn out? For many, such decisions lead to disappointment because they were founded on the fragile premise of knowing the unknowable. Instead of trying to foresee the future, we must learn to navigate the present with wisdom and caution. Rather than attempting to eliminate risk, we must prepare for it. Build resilience, whether it's through a diversified portfolio, a safety net of savings, or simply keeping your options open. The ancient Greeks believed that wisdom was the ability to know one's limits, and nowhere is this more true than in finance. We cannot control the winds of fate, but we can prepare our sails. You're never as right as you think you are. Finally, we come to one of the most humbling realizations, something that strikes at the very heart of human nature: the illusion of certainty. How often do we look back on our decisions and tell ourselves, "I knew it all along"? How often do we forget the role of luck, randomness, and chance in our successes, instead attributing them entirely to our own skill? This is hindsight bias, the belief that we were in control all along. It's comforting to think that our past successes were the result of our wisdom, our foresight. But this illusion can be dangerous because it breeds overconfidence. It leads us to believe that because we succeeded once, we will succeed again. Think back to a time when you made a successful investment. Was it truly your insight that led to success? Or did fortune, in some small way, play a role? In finance, as in life, success is rarely the product of one's own genius alone. Luck and timing, as invisible as they may seem, are often as influential as strategy. It is crucial, then, to remain humble in the face of success. Acknowledge the role that chance played, and resist the temptation to believe that the future will be as kind as the past. For overconfidence is the silent downfall of many investors. It whispers that you are in control, just as the storm begins to gather. To guard against this illusion, we must constantly examine our decisions with a critical eye. Was it truly your strategy that succeeded, or did luck lend a hand? The more honest you are with yourself, the better prepared you will be for the future, and the less likely you are to be blindsided by the next unexpected twist. Today, we've explored the power of narratives, the limits of our knowledge, and the illusion of certainty. These are forces that shape the financial world in ways we often overlook. But by remaining vigilant, by grounding ourselves in reality rather than stories, we can navigate these forces with wisdom and prudence. Thank you for joining me today. Stay curious, stay humble, and above all, stay prepared.